video is 2 desserts, 5 ingredients, and we're gonna make a granola, we're going to make a crisp, and then as a bonus, I'm gonna show you how to make these watermelon popsicles. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. My name's Sheila, and Joe is behind the camera, and I eat a whole food plant-based diet, or as close as I can to it, to cure my migraines, which is working, and to cure some other problems, health-wise. And then Joe eats a standard American diet. And we want to show people that it's really not that hard. There's a lot of things you actually have in common, and there's a lot of things that you can have the base where you share it, and then you just make something different for on top of that base. So today it's going to be about some easy summer desserts, and I've got 2 that share 5 ingredients, and then I got a bonus, which is how to cut a watermelon. So let's get started, and let's get started on the crisp so we can get that into the air fryer and get that to start cooking. So peaches are in season right now here in Illinois. I live in central Illinois, and it is the July 4th weekend. So I thought, oh, some peach crisp sounds so good. Oh, but a peach parfait sounds good. Oh, what if we make all this so this is actually 5 ingredients for 2 dishes, and we will both be able to eat them, and you'll see why in just a minute. So the peaches have been washed. Now I just need to cut them. So you never know when you get peaches what's going to happen when you open them up. So we're going to hope that all is good. There we go. So we're going to cut off that little bit of bad. We're going to take the pit out. Now we're not making a massive amount of the crisp or a parfait just because it's just the 2 of us, and so we don't need all of that. But you can multiply this by whatever number you need to in order to make it work when I put the recipe in the description. So I'm just cutting these peaches into some little chunks for the crisp. Actually, I'm going to do it for both recipes, but we're starting with the crisp. So this is a what do you call those dishes? I can't think of the name, but a little dish for the crisp to go in the air fryer. You could do it in the oven too, but it's kind of hot here, and I'd rather start the air fryer than the oven. So that's why I got this little dish, and we're just cutting these up. Boy, these smell so good. Last week I got them from the farmer's market, and they were awesome, except that I couldn't get the pits out. Like I had to cut around the pit in order to eat them. So I don't know what the deal was with that. So I think we're going to do one more, or a half of one, let's say. Not a full one. Peaches. So you have to let me know in the comments. Are you a peach fan and nectarine? Do you prefer peaches over nectarines? And if you are unaware, if you're live in a country that maybe doesn't have one or the other, the most visible and feeling difference of them is a peach has like a little fuzz on it, and a nectarine does not. I think peaches can be a little sweeter than nectarines, but I think that all is based on what peaches you get and your taste buds and all that. So what are we going to use for our granola? I also want to add a few raspberries because I like peaches and raspberries together. I've always thought they go well together. So there's a few raspberries. So that's ingredient number 2. And then we're going to go with simple. I'm trying to give you an idea if you've got some guests that have come over and maybe they continue to stay, and the next thing you know, you're eating dinner and you really hadn't planned on all this. So what could you make that be an easy dessert? You could actually do this with any fruit that you have. I'm just choosing peaches and raspberries because that's what's in season and that sounded good. But we're going to use granola. Now, you can make your own granola. I did go to Fresh Time, which is more of a specialty grocery store here in Bloomington, Illinois. And this is the only one I could find that did not have oil in it. So keep that in mind. You might have to get a little oil in it if you're trying not to eat oil, or make your own. Now, I'm going to go with, it already has some seasoning in it, some cinnamon and stuff, so I'm just going to let that be enough. And we're just going to add granola to the top as our topping. So we're just going to, I think I did a version of this when we went camping last year. Now, the rest, I should have measured that out, but I think that's about 2.5 to 3 tablespoons. And we're going to let that fruit just cook down and that topping get crisp. And then when it comes out, I'm going to show you what we're going to put on top of it. So let me put this in the air fryer, and I'm going to turn it on air fryer, which is 400 degrees. I'm going to put it in the middle, and we're gonna let it go for 15. I'll check it probably at 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go do that real quick, then I'll be back. Okay, so what's our second ingredient? So what's our second dish we're gonna make? We're going to make some parfaits. Now, I have always, you know, Joe and I don't drink anymore. We have these beautiful wine glasses we got from my aunt and uncle for our wedding. And so I try to think of other ways to use them. Now, there's many times I'll put my sparkling water in there with some fruit. So I have like a little drink when my friends come over. But you can also use this for a dessert serving or for pudding or things like that. So we're going to use it today to layer our parfait. So that's what we're going to do. Wow, this one's got a really tiny seed. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get that out, honestly. Let's see here. Let me go cut around that. It's too tiny. I really can't get a hold of it. So that's what you do. You just pivot when things just don't quite work out the way you're thinking that they're going to. So I'm going to cut up all the peaches first, and then we're going to start our layering and talk about the yogurt that I'm going to use. So plums would also be good with this recipe. Obviously, any kind of berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Oh, they are all so pretty to go with this. So really just use, the only one I would caution you on is bananas, unless you put lemon juice on them, because you don't want them to turn. So just keep that in mind when you're picking your fruit out. And another thing would be great to get the kids involved. Say, hey kids, which fruit would you like? How can we, you know, let's make this into a little parfait or a little crisp, you know, and then get them involved, and they have a better chance of them eating it if they're the ones helping to pick things out. So, oh my gosh, these peaches smell so good. They are also very good. Maybe we should do a video on that on our next camping trip. Is grilled peaches and grilled pineapple are delicious. So if you've already got the grill started, or maybe you've got a fire going and you're gonna do s'mores, you could also do some fruit over the fire. That wouldn't be bad at all. Okay, so that's the other 1.5. So I used 3 peaches total, so I'll put these aside for another meal. And then they do make non-dairy yogurt, and this is an oat milk one. A lot of them are coconut based, and because I don't need that fat, I did find this oat milk one. And shockingly, I thought I was gonna have to get it at Fresh Time, which I did, but then when I went to Walmart this morning, they actually had almond milk, I think, thing, and I was really surprised. I didn't realize that Walmart had non-dairy yogurt, so I was pleasantly surprised. Now, I don't get it flavored because that's going to add a lot of sugar and stuff that I don't want in this. So what I want to do is add some vanilla to it to give it that vanilla flavor, which I think is good in a parfait. So this is the 5th ingredient. This is the 4th ingredient, because we've got the peaches, the raspberries, the granola, the yogurt, and now we're just going to add a teaspoon, and that's about probably I don't know, maybe a cup of yogurt in here. You do not have to add the vanilla if you don't want to. I'm just trying to, Joe's not a huge yogurt, like he's not one to just eat yogurt. Back when I ate the standard American diet, there were many times yogurt was like my mid-morning snack, you know, the kind with the fruit and everything. But I don't eat much yogurt now, so I just wanted to make it so that it'd be a little more palatable for him when he tries this, but also I just love the vanilla flavor. So let's start layering our ingredients in. So let's start on the bottom with our peaches. Ooh. Oh, it's going everywhere. Okay, well, let's add a little bit of the yogurt. Okay, now let's add some of our raspberries. Blackberries would be so pretty in this. Perfect. And then let's add a little bit of, actually let's do this. Let's add a tablespoon of granola. Perfect. And then let's layer on again. Again, another activity to help the kids help you with, because boy, they do love you know, designing things and putting things together. At least our son did. He was never shy to help me in the kitchen, which I always appreciated. So add more. And these are all proportions that you want to eat. Okay, some more raspberries. Just like that. Oop. And let's do another tablespoon of granola. Now Joe actually set the camera up and then he went to go do a couple things. So he is going to be pleasantly surprised when he gets back to try this, I think. So only because I have a few peaches left, I'm going to add them to the top. If you didn't have any, you could just stop right there. But we're going to add them because we have them and they're already cut. Perfect. And then I'm thinking, I know they'll be kind of heaping, but let's add just a wee bit more yogurt for the top. Just like that. And then 1 more tablespoon of granola. Boy, they look so, so pretty. You could do it in sundae dishes. You could, you know, like to make a ice cream sundae, they have some of those dishes. But boy, does that not look gorgeous for a dessert. Simple, you've already got it. You get other people involved to help you. Cannot beat that kind of dessert. So there's your, this is our second dessert. Now, let me show you, let me kind of clean up a hair bit here. And I'm going to show you an easy way to cut your watermelon so that it's easy for people to eat. So I know when you cut up pineapple there's so many different ways to cut up a pineapple, especially, a watermelon. So you could also do chunks. I know I did lunch at the Salvation Army with my small group this past week, and we had clear cups and we were cutting the watermelon into chunks so that it's easy for them just to take a cup and then they could add it to their lunch that we were serving them. So that's one easy way to do it. But I like this way because it's kind of cute, and especially if you have kids at a party. We have a barbecue to go to in a couple weeks, and I was thinking about cutting the pineapple up this way. So now, unfortunately, I cannot show you a massive pineapple because they were completely out of Walmart. Could be because I waited until July 5th to get the watermelon and not before July 4th. But either way, this concept is exactly the same, so no need to worry about that. So the first thing you want to do when cutting a pineapple is you need to get, I keep saying pineapple, it's watermelon. Joe's back and he's giving me a look. Watermelon. We can do pineapple another day. Watermelon is you need to get it. So like right now, it's very rolly. That is cause for us to cut ourselves. So we need to try to get this on a flat surface. So the way I generally do it is I cut it in half. No matter how big the watermelon is, my first task is to cut it in half. Because then you can set it down. Well, it looks good. You never know. And now you have it as a very good surface to cut on, which is what you want. Now, I am not, if anybody has tips on how to pick a good watermelon, please tell me in the comments. It's a crapshoot when we get one. I knock on it because somebody said knock on it. Well, I don't really know what you're listening for. Like, I'm not really sure. Pineapple, I told you guys that in a few videos, never fails. If the inside, whatever leaves come out easy, they're ready to go. It never has ever failed. I don't know on this. But I do know how you can cut it and make it into like popsicles. So we're going to cut it down the middle again. Cut it down this way. Now this is going to depend on how big the watermelon is. So in our case, I did it 3 this way. And I'm going to do it 3 this way. And then we're going to cross cut it. Now these end ones aren't the ones you're going to keep. It's these. Because now you can just walk around and eat their pineapple, watermelon, and then they throw it away when they're done with it. Now how awesome is this? Like a watermelon popsicle. I saw this one time online and I'm like, that is amazing. Now, for my dad and Joe, they don't like it that way. They want the big old hunk. You know, you cut it into quarters like this and they like to put their salt on it and do it. But for a party, this is phenomenal. Or if you have little kids and you want a way for them to just quickly go into the fridge and get their pineapple, this is what, or watermelon, this is what I would suggest that you do. So, just like that, you have watermelon popsicles. How delicious is that? And then you could just stack them up in whatever. I just picked the quickest container I could get. Because that's the other problem with watermelon is you get this massive watermelon, then you cut it all, and then you're like, where am I going to store this? Because there's so much. So this gives you a way to easily take it to a party, and all people have to do. You don't even have to have a serving spoon. They just take the one that they want. They walk around and eat it, and then throw away the rind.
Put a toothpick in it too.
Yes, you could put a toothpick in it too, which could become little dangerous items that they play with. But you know, it is what happens. Kids will find a way. So that's my hack on watermelon, not pineapple. Okay, so the crisp is still in there crisping up. So we're gonna take a pause, and when that's ready, we'll bring it out, and then we will taste both of these desserts. So we'll see you back here in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back. So you already saw the watermelon get done. Our parfait got done. And now look at our crisp. You know if you can come in quicker. Look. You see it got toasty on the top with the granola. So I did leave it in there the full 15 minutes, and I had it in the middle shelf. If you have a very small, you may want to go to the bottom because you see it got nice and crispy on the top, which is fantastic. So, and I did make up another batch. I took some of the yogurt and I added a little vanilla to it. So then we're going to add this to the top of it. Or to the side. We'll see if Joe even wants to try it with it, because I understand if he doesn't. So come on in, Joe. Let's start with the parfait and let that cool down for just a few more minutes. So this is peaches, raspberries. I flavored the yogurt with vanilla and granola. I added the vanilla. I think vanilla helped that yogurt. That's really good. Mm-hmm. You like that? Because I know that's not generally your thing.
Yeah, not bad at all. I do it.
The fruit's nice and sweet. So
it's a little different on the texture because of granola and everything in there. But
so the same ingredients are in here, except I haven't added the yogurt yet. On here, the yogurt will act like ice cream. Because we don't have a Ninja Creamy yet. We've been debating that for quite a while. So give it a try. Do you want to try it with the yogurt or not?
There's no yogurt in it?
No. This is just the fruit and the granola that got cooked. You want some on it?
Yeah.
It should help cool it down and give you like a creamy... The point was to make it be like ice cream or Cool Whip. Like a mix of the two. Where Cool Whip's a lot more runnier than ice cream. Thoughts on this? I'm going to try it.
More of the fruit could be cooked a little bit more.
Okay.
And I think I would prefer it with probably a little more sugar, just to be a little sweeter.
Okay.
Or you could have pre-cooked the fruit in a pot, just kind of cook it down.
Okay.
And then put it in there. But then with that on there, it would be very good.
And I love the toasted granola. That toasting that granola. So on Joe's note that's another idea is you could cook the fruit on the stove and then you could just toast a little granola, put that on top and do the same thing, but it would be hot. And then so that's another idea. I'm impressed that you like it with the yogurt. I was worried that you wouldn't like that as much because you're not really a yogurt fan in general, let alone a non-dairy.
Sweeten with the vanilla.
Yeah.
Which helps sweeten that.
Okay.
And
so yeah, that all depends on how sweet your fruit is. Like I thought the fruit was sweet enough, but Joe thought it needed a little bit more. Other thing is you could add maple syrup to your granola to sweeten that too.
But it does give it that whipped cream feeling.
Yes.
Even though whipped cream is technically acceptable. But I don't know if it's like today being 90 some degrees, that's much better than that.
Yeah. But there you go, folks. Easy desserts for summertime. Won't heat up your kitchen. You get some good fruit in that we all need. So let us know in the comments, which one of these are you going to give a try? Or do you have a tip on how I can find a good watermelon every single time? Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.